Her family insists there is more to this story, and they are pushing state police and the FBI to take over and examine her death as a homicide. We've got to talk about some recently released information, along with some interesting comments in my last video on this story, because only a Sith deals in absolutes. So welcome to the point. Let's get to it.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
First, I want to say this was a hard video to lay out, and I'll get to why in a minute. But in this clip, you're going to hear Mica reach out to John Paul's ex, Allison Williams, who currently has filed an emergency custody motion for the youngest 2 of the 4 kids they had together. So listen to this.
Now, News Nation has also obtained a voicemail, evidence included in that same custody battle from Mica Miller to Allison Williams, John Paul Miller's first wife, asking for help. Take a listen.
Hey, Allie, it's Mica. This is my new number. Please don't give it to anybody, but I just wanted to see who your counselor was to help you. I don't want to lose myself in this, and I don't want to pursue anything out of anger or vengeance or anything like that. I just want to be free and have peace and keep my soul right. So, if you just text me a name, even I'm a good counselor, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.
Now, if you feel that your voice matters and an open conversation is something you prefer, hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Because to me personally, that clip was hard to listen to. And here's why this video was so hard to make. Regardless if you're one of those closet JP supporters who get in the comment section of this video and many other creators' videos making the statement that Mica wasn't well, and all this is simply because Mica wasn't well, or you're an outright supporter of Mica and you hear something like this and it has you screaming at your phone or TV, saying, "Look what he put her through." I want everybody on both sides of this particular story to make no mistake about it. Real problems or fake problems, that was 100% real pain in Mica's voice. Her full emotions were caught on audio for the whole world to hear. And that emotion was very real. Now, if you agree or disagree to what I just said, please feel free to let me know down below. Because the pain in that woman's voice makes it very hard to be objective and search for the truth. But let's give it a shot because that's what we do here. Now, after hearing that clip, there will be one group of people who will make the statement that this proves Mica wasn't taking her medicine. This proves Mica wasn't well. They will even reference previous statements that John Paul has made that he had a lot of difficulty getting her to take that medicine. And in one of his more recent TikToks that I've shown here, he went into this subject a whole lot deeper, saying that she went through very high highs and very low lows. Even saying at one point he had seen Mica playing chess with invisible people and having conversations with them. And I know that it's became taboo on social media to mention this, but we have all seen Mica talking about doing what she did on video. But I still believe there's more to this story. I believe South Carolina needs to address the holes in their laws. And I absolutely do believe Mica was going through something. And here's why I believe there's more truth than fiction in that audio clip. And some backstory is going to be required to validate what I'm trying to say. Now, numerous reports have surfaced saying that Mica had addressed her concerns about her marriage to numerous people within that church. And I am assuming you've all seen those same reports as well. And what was the outcome of all those conversations? Well, if you heard differently, you can let me know down in the comments below because this is an open discussion channel. But according to the reports I saw, all those people essentially told Mica to work things out. They told her that that's her husband. And I also assumed there was some talk of scripture to back that up, with somebody saying for better or worse in sickness and health till passing do you part. Plus, we've also seen numerous reports of people coming out and saying that they were aware of some type of situation, but they believed John Paul over Mica. They believed what John Paul had said when he would make the statement that Mica wasn't doing well, she's not taking her medicine, she's having one of her episodes, and I'm just trying to get her some help. And now a lot of those people are supposedly feeling regret about giving Mica that advice. So I need everybody right now to just imagine the devastation she must have felt. She had to feel almost completely alone at that point, as if she had nobody to turn to. So who did she call when she left that voicemail? Well, as we said in the beginning, she left that voicemail on John Paul Miller's ex, Allison Williams. That's reportedly the same woman whose marriage she broke up. And I'm personally wondering how hard it must have been for her to make that call. Now, I'm not trying to imply or make the case that Mica and Allison were mortal enemies and they could not stand each other. But I don't imagine that they were best friends either. I don't imagine that they would have frequent calls with each other, talking about personal issues and problems. And that's the reason why I believe there's a lot of validity in that voicemail. Now, the reason I believe what I just heard is because Allison must have been on the bottom of Mica's call list. When all else failed and everybody around her let her down, she turned to the one woman who got away and restarted her life. What I heard was a woman begging for answers, because in that clip she sounded like she was concerned about the one thing that was most precious to her. It wasn't vengeance, it wasn't money, it wasn't any type of retaliation. She was concerned about her soul. Now, if you heard any of that differently, or you have a different interpretation, please let me know down in the comments below. Now to the comments that are making the statement that I'm a JP supporter or I don't know enough. I need everybody to understand that that's fine. This is an open discussion channel at the end of the day. And as most of you know, I read everything and I reply to almost everything. But I personally believe in this story only two people know the truth. One of them's no longer with us and the other one has a big credibility issue. So when you make the statement that I don't know enough, I need you to go into a little bit more depth. Y'all need to provide some context to the statements you're making. By all means, give an example if you feel like you need to. But like I said in the beginning, only a Sith deals in absolutes. And we absolutely don't know all the information at this point. We know there were problems in their marriage and we know they were going through a divorce. But we also know both of them were dealing with some stuff. So how can we know the absolute truth? The family says they have evidence and they haven't provided all the evidence, and I'm sure they will during the court case. And John Paul's made the statement that he has something around 350 text messages to back up his side of the story, and I'm sure we'll hear all about that too. But nobody on the outside trying to look in has seen absolutely everything. The truth in this story will fall somewhere in the middle, in my own opinion. But I certainly believe Mica was dealing with some stuff. And I certainly believe she was experiencing real pain, real emotion, and real hardship. But John Paul hasn't been charged with anything yet. So as of right now, he hasn't done anything criminally wrong. Maybe morally wrong, maybe spiritually wrong. That'll all be determined at a later date. But if some of y'all prefer a content creator who tells you what to think without all the evidence, then this maybe isn't the channel for you. These YouTube streets are big and there's plenty of channels to choose from. But this channel is where different opinions can come together and have a conversation without somebody jumping down their throat. Y'all be safe now.
But you are the bride of Christ. Before anybody else's bride, male or female, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what gender you are.